Hey YouTube, this is Theata and I'll be doing my first new video. It'll be a 2v2 StarCraft game. You don't see many of them on the YouTube at the moment, so this will be a NoobTube series and I'll be doing some more of them. First one today will be me and Old Greg versus TheOnyxRaven and Wolfkins on Terador Keep. Spawning in the top left will be me and Old Greg, and top right, Wolfkins and TheOnyxRaven. It's going to get a little bit boring because, well, it's single speed and we're not really starting the game. We're not doing anything. We're just watching. Let's whack out some income tabs and we're all pretty much at the same apart from our opponents, all one behind. And if you haven't noticed, we have some colourful stuff coming from the teams here between each other. My friend Old Greg has a really decent sense of humour and likes to have a bit of fun with our opponents, even says stuff between us, because we have a Skype chat running, so it is quite funny to listen to him. I might even cast a video with him on it at the same time. And as I said, I will post this on YouTube and it is going to go up. Made a promise, I'm not going to break it. I'm going to do it. Let's slow this down now, we're getting into the game. So it's a fairly standard entry for both players, I suppose. And everyone's sort of going to expand nice and early. Apart from Wolfkins, he doesn't seem to be ready to expand. Neither do I on that note, but I will soon. Over in the Wolfkin base, we have a Twilight Council, which is a little bit disturbing. And look, there goes the DT Shrine. So I wouldn't have known this because, well, no one would have really. We didn't even know where they were, which isn't too surprising, to be quite honest. Sometimes we scout, sometimes we don't. Getting an observer out just to go and scout out where they are. I find it really good practice when I play Protoss to just get one observer at least and just find where they are, plonk it over them, see what they're doing, see how to counter them. It's how I play. Definitely how I play. Only one on guess at Old Greg's primary. I have no idea why this isn't. He's only just getting his orbital command. That name just slipped from my mind. I have found they're not here, so I know that they are here and here. That was pretty good timing for the pings, really. And out comes another observer, just so I can see what they're doing over both of their bases at once. Saturated quite heavily already for me. 28 probes, which is a really nice little number. It's quite close to your perfect amount. I generally like to have a quite full economy. Going back to everyone's view, and we can have a look up here and see that incoming prism, and out go DTs, and they're not going to go for the SCVs, which is strange, really. They're going to manage to stop a refinery from going up, which it's an amazing bit of damage they did there. One refinery. Looks like he's going to get a few SCV kills. One, at least two. We didn't want him to see my DT shrine, which had gone up. It's another third one because of it, and a fourth, fifth, and a couple of marines, just because we didn't have a scan ready. And scanning, even though it was unnecessary. And I just keep my observer over that warp prism so we know what it's doing and where it's going, in case it goes out of sight, which it won't. For Wolfkins, he's now starting a normal army, and my obs is going to just sit over the top of them until it gets discovered, which is lovely when that happens. Putting out another observer and starting my expansion. Finished it. Wow, that was late. Derp. And getting charge. I was going to go charge because of all of these marauders, and especially the stalkers. Charge lots are extremely potent against them, especially when you put them in with immortals. They just thump that to nothing. Only problem is, if anyone has any air units, well, let's just say that army's kind of dead, to say the least. Moving into a little bit faster to see what, so because nothing really interesting happens at this point. Moving up into a few more units, get a couple of DTs in case they don't have detection with them, which unfortunately they do. Going to EAPM, see what our APMs are like. Pretty stable, like I said, we're all pretty noobs, so it's pretty low for everyone. Old Greg hasn't quite got back his economy yet, he never really does, just being fair. Wolfkins is expanding now, and they haven't saturated their expansion very well, really, for TheOnyxRaven. I've started to saturate it quite well, building from both of them. Opened up more gates and starting to build immortals just to counter off this heavily armoured unit group here. That will work really nicely against all of these armoured units. Not so well against the marines, but the chariots will take them down. Hellions are a little bit of a question mark, not quite sure why I got any of them. Not going to do too much damage against armoured. They will do a fair amount versus the zealots if they can get close enough, which they probably won't. Popping out now is a couple of Thors from TheOnyxRaven. I'm dropping down 3 forges just so I can get those expansions up nice and fast. Old Greg has just whacking out a lot of supply depots, and he hasn't started getting many upgrades at all, if any. I cannot find. There it is. He's got high-sec auto-tracking, not sure why, probably for these turrets. Always a good upgrade. And he's getting level 2 weapons. Saturation for the Protoss Wolfkins at his base here is not so happy. And saturation for the TheOnyxRaven isn't so grand either. It's not too bad at his main. Moving through, we see a couple of Banshees, a couple of Thors. Pretty mixed army. Let's have a look at that army tab. Pretty heavily maxed on the supply. I'm actually a lot more ahead of my my associate here, and I got a message on Skype. That's great. Thank you to that person. He knows he'll get a punch, or a cyber punch in his case. Starting level 2, and here comes their army now. It's going to slow this right down. And they're all just going to sit there. We were alerted by these Hellions just sitting here, so we knew they were going to come soon, because we can all see them. And here we go. My mate forgot to get, and he's just sent me something. Thank you. That's great. He forgot to get siege mode. I think it's actually going now. Yep. Too late though. They were gone. They're breaking down the back doors. And there we go. My army's ready to roll. Get another immortal. Stocking up on resources like an idiot, and this is where I forget to make more because I'm just thick. And there goes my mains mineral fields, and I hadn't noticed. Back into everyone view and having a look at the units lost tab, we notice that I am not quite hitting the top. It's the TheOnyxRaven that lost the most out of that, and old Greg lost the least by the looks of things. While their army is defeated, I have no idea why I'm running my anti-ground infantry back, probably some cover for some air units, but who cares. It's only air units. Banshees can't hit air. What a retard. On the other note, they have a couple of Thors back, a couple of Ravens. Where did that come from? A couple of Hellion, a few Reins, and a few Stalkers. Once again, those Stalkers are going to get absolutely toasted by anything that I have there, especially the Immortals at 2-2, which will be coming up soon. 2-2 even, coming very soon. Yeah, fair enough. This is where I completely forget to build any extra units because I'm just that silly. I forgot. And I didn't even put in my robotics facility at Control 2. What an idiot, is all I'm going to say. I was going to say something else, but I thought, no, not such a good idea. Doing a probe transfer in case I need a new base, in case this interaction doesn't go quite so nicely, but it's going swimmingly. And the Thors are just going to melt as soon as they can run away. And they're going to be killing off, we're just going to kill off most of their base. And these Thors are actually going to come and position themselves quite nicely behind this robotics facility, just so my Immortals actually can't quite hit them. They'll be just out of range. So I'm going to knock out the robotics facility when they come up, and here they come, there they are. I'm going to notice they're up there, and they're in range of hitting other stuff. So I'm going to knock out this robotics facility so I can get in just a bit closer. And when those Thors, they just fall, they just melt like butter. And we just keep pummeling in. I think I can bring in some more units, yep. And come back to the base here. And one of them leaves the game, IGG with an extra G, just so good luck. And they leave. Thank you for watching this replay. I will maybe put some more up if I have some more newbie games. It'll be losses and wins. Hopefully some more newbie players will be able to learn from the mistakes that we made, and some pros will be able to give us some tips. If you'd like to leave a comment, leave it in the reaction bar in the comment section below, and I will respond to some. Please no flaming, otherwise I will just stop comments. Thank you very much. Goodbye.